The silver price and gold price have been in a bit of a meltdown lately. Just back in May, we had silver over $26 per ounce. Today, we're fighting for $23. Yesterday, silver down 2.4%. Painful. Today looks a little better, but what's the big picture? What is CNBC saying that could directly relate to much higher silver and gold prices here in the near future? We're going to talk about that in this video because yes, I actually watched 4 minutes of CNBC this morning, but I grabbed a little nugget and something that I think we need to talk about because it is very, very positive. It is Friday morning. What the heck? Sorry, guys. I've had a long few days. Just to be clear, it's Friday morning. Nonetheless, this nugget that I got from CNBC does directly relate to the silver price and gold price and why we have reason for optimism. But what's the big story today, right? I think it was Wednesday, if I have my days correct. I warned you that we could see a massive downturn, not massive, but $50 downturn in the gold price and the silver price over the employment numbers, right? Good employment numbers would be bad for the silver price and gold price. And if you don't understand why, it's because of the employment picture's so rosy and great like it always supposedly is. But we got a big issue with these numbers we're going to talk about as well. Nonetheless, if these numbers really are so great, that gives our old friend Jerome Powell, yes, him, free rein to institute tight monetary policy, and that just completely tamps down the price of gold and silver. Now, we saw that happen yesterday because ADP came out with these incredibly great employment numbers, right? Incredibly great employment numbers. 500,000 new jobs, according to ADP, and it was expected to be 200. So we got hit. We got banged. Man, if you own any precious metal mining stocks like I do, the last few days have been just absolutely horrific. I mean, absolutely horrific. But the metals prices got booted down as well. I think gold was down like either $20 or $30 intraday, right? From its high of the day to its low of the day. And the silver price was down 2.4% from its high of the day to its low of the day. So great employment numbers from ADP. But then what do we get this morning? Right? We get the official BLS numbers, and I'm really angry about something in these numbers, and we're going to talk about that, okay? But they tell us this morning, the BLS numbers, they underperformed. There were fewer jobs created than expected. That's been good so far for the price of silver and gold. I looked briefly before I came on. Gold and silver were still up. Somebody let me know in the comment section, are gold and silver still up? I want to talk about this nugget we got from CNBC, but before I do that, I'm mad about these BLS employment numbers. And this is why. Because every month, when they put them out in the past, they would beat spectacularly. But then the next month they would say, oh, we beat again, but we're revising down the numbers from the previous month. And that happened again. As a matter of fact, I printed this out for you. This should make you very mad. This is an article from Yahoo Finance. Okay, there's the meat of it. You can come back and watch the recording of this and pause it if you like, or I can read it for you. And you know what? I'll read this to you because this is astounding. It said, oh, by the way, everybody, there's something else we need to mention here. Sorry, there's one more thing we got to tell you about. We saved the best for last. It says elsewhere in the report, employment gains for the last 2 months were revised lower. Updated data revealed that 306,000 jobs were created during May, 33,000 less than previously reported. Oh, okay. Why do they never revise these numbers up? April's job gains were also revised lower. This is the whopper, guys. This is the one that will make your blood pressure go up. Because when they reported April's numbers, right, gold got hammered, right? Okay, but now they're saying they revised the April numbers down to 217,000 from 294,000. A stretch lower than what they initially reported. When they initially reported those numbers, they were 111 because they revised them last month as well. So April's numbers were actually overstated by 110. I don't usually do stuff like that, but I'm mad. 110,000 jobs, and that kills gold, kills silver, right? I mean, come on, man, right? All right, what did CNBC say? So this morning I'm listening to them talk about these numbers. What did CNBC say that's good for the price of gold and silver? You know, and they had their panel of like 6 people, but there was a woman, she has blonde hair. I tried to go back and watch and catch her name, but then my kids had to leave for swim practice, so I never got it. But there's a woman on CNBC, one of the 6 panelists, who they even said she's like uber respected. They were like, her resume is a mile long and she's like super respected. This has everything to do with silver and gold. She said basically that the Fed is in the last innings. If I remember correctly, she said the Fed is in the 8th or 9th inning of tightening, right? Like they don't have much more room to tighten. And guys, we've waited long enough, right? We've waited. We have been through storm after storm after storm when it comes to the precious metals. And she was like I said, everybody was reviling her and how smart she is and how she's so respected. And she was like, even though the Fed might raise again in July and whatever, August, excuse me, the Fed is in the final innings of their ability to raise rates. And when we've been through a couple of false starts with the gold price and the silver price. When the market starts to think, oh, the Fed's done or the Fed's getting close to being done, right? We felt what happened. Just the initial inklings of that happening. We've seen big moves up in the silver price and the gold price. We've seen fast, big moves up in the precious metal mining stocks. They are like beat down. They're not in the bargain bin. They're in the dumpster behind the grocery store at this point, right? Rotting away. So we know just the inkling of what can happen. Thank you for the super chat, Vincent. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. I've had a rough couple days. That raises my spirits. Hey, by the way, guys, we're going to get back to the gold and silver, but let me say this as well. Thank you for being here. Please give this a thumbs up. When we get to 100 thumbs up, I will ring the bell 10 times, and I put out new content every day. I work real hard, and I'm happy to do it. This is my passion, sharing with you, connecting with you. New video every day for the rest of my life. One piece of content, minimum, I promise you, even if it's just me saying hello. So please subscribe to the channel. Now, bear in mind, right? It's a sentiment. It's not in the bargain bin, right? This goes for gold and silver also. It's in the dumpster, right? Somebody accidentally threw out the most valuable thing on the face of the earth, silver and gold. They didn't just put it in the bargain bin. No, they put it in the dumpster. So when this thing turns around, and we've seen just small inklings of that in the last maybe year. Seems like late summer last year, we had a little rally that was based on people thinking the Fed's almost done. When the Fed is really done, or when the market figures out that the Fed's not really wanting to fight inflation, the silver price and gold price could have explosive moves. The mining stocks could have even more explosive moves. Now, do I have a crystal ball? No. The only person we know who's actually on this live stream that has a crystal ball is Buddy Rumble. He's calling for $30 silver by January. Buddy, I'm not going to let you forget about that, my friend. I wonder what CoinShop Chris thinks. CoinShop Chris, tell us in the comments. The reviled, the one and only, the magnificent, the world famous CoinShop Chris, where do you see silver in January? Buddy Rumble says $30. Do you agree, Chris? Do you see it higher or lower? Let us know. Why don't you let us know in the comments as well? Yes, you, because you are important, right? We're all sitting around the campfire at the Silver and Gold Summer Camp. Mom and Dad shipped us off. We're talking about our favorite subject. We've had a long day. We're relaxing. What do you think the price of silver is going to be in January? Let me know in the comments. All right, guys, I've been reading a book, and I'm going to share with you a book by a guru. Okay, this guy's considered to be a guru, right? Probably more of a guru than if you combine me, Buddy Rumble, and CoinShop Chris together. If that's possible. That's pretty high guru level. But I've got a book about silver I've been reading by a guru. It's called The Great Silver Bull. I might put a link to it in the description. I do have like an affiliate thing with Amazon. I don't know. Go get it yourself. Click on the link, whatever you want to do. I'm really not trying to sell you the book, but I've enjoyed it so far. And I want to share with you why he thinks silver, some compelling reasons to own silver. Do you want to hear some compelling reasons to own silver? Tell me in the chat. And for right now, I'm going to run in here and say, hello, Susie says $34. Susie. Wow, that's awesome. Maybe if we get $34 silver, Susie will let me out of the basement, right? Huh? Do you guys think that would be a good idea? I think that'd be a good idea. Ken D does not know, but silver will be up 40% in a day. Ken, that'll be an awesome day. I'll definitely do a live stream, and you'll have to remind me. You're the guy that told us that. Mr. Cut, $50 plus. Richard Cooper, our good friend in the UK, says dollars, not pounds. Sassy Silver, 85. Sassy. Yeah, Susie got me that book. I'm sorry. And it only took me 6 months to start reading it. And it is fascinating, guys. Let me share with you just some of the reasons why this author thinks silver is a compelling, is the king of currencies. Number one, and we don't really think about this that much. Silver is durable. It won't go rancid like wheat or barley, and it won't fall apart from handling it. So think about that within the context of like the BRICS, new reserve currency, where people are saying, oh, they can back it with oil and wheat and blah, blah. Oil gets consumed, wheat goes bad, right? Silver and gold, for that matter, they don't really spoil. Sure, silver can tarnish, but that's not a big deal, right? You can clean that up, whatever. It doesn't take away the actual silver. Silver and gold are so durable. I hadn't really thought about that one. Had you thought about that one? Silver also is divisible. This is interesting. You can separate it and recombine it, all without affecting its value or properties. That makes it particularly easy to accept as payment in one place and offer it in another to use it for paying for goods, just like many of the states are doing here in the United States, returning to their citizens, allowing their citizens to reclaim their right to use silver and gold as legal tender, as money. A wave of states, right? It's a movement, we could say. Right? Because silver is divisible. It's you can use it for commerce. He points out an interesting fact. The Spanish silver dollar was the original basis for the US dollar and was worth 8 Spanish reals. That's why it was known as pieces of 8. Silver is convenient. Well, yes, we love that, right? That's because it has considerable value. So you can pay for many things without having to carry around an excessive amount. Right, like this 10-ounce silver bar. We know what that's worth, $250, $260 right now, right? If we want to measure it in paper, electronic, unicorn fart dust, we like to call it, money, fiat money, make-believe money that can be made to infinity. Nonetheless, we know this is worth about $250. We know that this, I'll show you this one. It's got a unicorn on it, coincidentally. That's worth, well, what? Probably $30, $25? Right, I can carry that around if I need to buy something. So it's convenient. Silver is consistent. Every piece of silver, large or small, has the same properties as any other. When melted down, they are indistinguishable. And I like to bring that point up. Here, I look at this silver round that was given to me by my good friend CoinShop Chris, right? That silver in there, that could have been mined 3,000 years ago. Some of the molecules could have been taken from the Earth's crust, right? 3,000 years ago. Some of them could have been taken 30 days ago, 3 years ago, 300 years ago. You can combine it, okay? It's consistent. Silver has intrinsic value. That means it can be used in other applications like industry. Boy, we could go on about that forever. So it has real worth. And since there's plenty of work required to find and extract it from the earth, silver will always have value. Interesting. Let's get back. Hey, Paul Beeler, thank you, by the way, again for the super chat. I'm so happy, so honored when you guys do that. Buddy Rumble, Richard Cooper. Britannias in the UK are legal tender. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes, just like the American Silver Eagle here in America. You can go spend it. It's worth what, $1? I don't have an eagle here. I should know that off the top of my mind, but I don't. So how much is the Ron's Basement? The Ron's Basement coin is worth $1 million. Good morning, 40 ounces to freedom. Oh, you guys are great. Hey, thank you guys all for being here this morning. This is awesome. If you have any questions, right, or comments or anything that you want me to discuss, please put it in the comment section in all capitals, okay? Now, let's get back to a few more interesting reasons that this author, Peter Krauth, right? Remember this book? Check it out sometime. The Great Silver Bowl. Let's go to a few more points that he pointed out. Silver can't be printed. Interesting, right? When it backs a currency, that limits how much government can print, avoiding runaway inflation. Silver's private. A few ounces give you direct, discrete control over an asset that is valuable. Hey, guys, I appreciate you joining me this morning. I'm going to hit some comments here. Question, what's your favorite silver to look at and play with? That's a good question. Last year, it was definitely the UK Britannia was my favorite coin. I don't know why. Earlier this year, I was really fond of the South African Krugerrand. I've got one right here, right? I don't know. Something about this coin really caught my fancy earlier this year. Lately, I have to admit, people have been sending me, and I'm not getting a flood, and it's always greatly appreciated, 1 ounce bars. I got this little bag of silver shot, right? Really, remember, this is just as valuable as any of these coins when it comes to silver content. So lately, it's been the ones that people have been sending me. Most recently, well, one of the most recent was this one from Snakebite. I've got another one upstairs that I just got from a nice gentleman in Washington State that has, well, that one, that's a coin from the Austrian Mint that has Robin Hood on the back of it. Hey, Sassy Silver, you're very welcome. Thank you for the super chat. That really means a lot. Wow. I feel like the luckiest guy on the face of the earth. 2 super chats. Thank you, Sassy Silver. I appreciate it. Eyes sewn shut. Some of your usernames crack me up. Still loves the Constitutional. Yes. Dean R. Still buying 90%. Ron Luchtemeier. I'm a fan of the Walking Liberty $50. Awesome. Ken D. Got the vampire bag. Yeah, that's the vampire bag. I guess I'll break that open and, throw it at him like a shotgun. Paul M. Thoughts on insurance for the precious metals stack? That's a great question, Paul. I don't know. I don't have specific insurance, and I never had that question. That is a great question. Maybe if I'm going to look into that. That's interesting. So I don't have an answer for you. Great question. That's what we're here for. Like I say, guys, all the videos, all this, send me an email. Leave a question. We can learn from each other. I can't believe, just when I thought of everything, I haven't thought of that. So maybe you guys have an idea. Ron needs tacos. Thank you, Coin Shop Prince. Ellen Rose Peach, I truly enjoy my silver jewelry. I've been buying and wearing it since my first job at 12, and I bet it looks beautiful on you, Ellen Rose. We love that name. Silver Breakaway Token Hearts for barter. Yes. Buddy Rumble! You have to have a collector's policy. Thank you, Buddy, for that. Neil, thank you, Neil, and thank you for helping Coin Shop Chris. Both of you guys be moderators. Much appreciated. In March 2008, platinum was $22.70 an ounce. Gold in 2008 was 1,011. Buy silver and platinum. Very interesting. Thank you. You have to own a collector's insurance policy. Low blood pressure. 999 silver and gold is legal tender. Yes, that's right. Species, which there's a thing called species law, which means as long as it is printed or stamped what the purity is and the weight and what the metal is, I believe, but that's pretty obvious. That makes it legal tender. Tap one for coin. Yeah, guys, let's tap one for Coin Shop Chris. What do you say? Let's give Chris some love. One for Coin Shop Chris and two for Neil from Neil Hahn's Dynasty, right? Because they're like if we're at that campfire at the silver and gold camp, they're the guys doing the work. They're the ones, I'm just blabbing away. They're the ones putting more logs on the fire for us. So thank you, Coin Shop Chris. And our good friend Neil from Neil Hahn's Dynasty. You guys are awesome. Uh-oh, the chat. There we go. We're back. And I'm really sorry about what happened on the previous live stream. For those of you who weren't here, it went dead. So we had to start over. So, I always appreciate you guys being here. I spent a lot of time at a place yesterday where I could talk to a lot of people. And I talked to an interesting woman. She was from Washington, D.C., and we were observing, there were a lot of people around spending a lot of money. Where are people getting all this money from? And she was 45 years old, like a professional from Washington, D.C. And she said, I said, I don't have any credit card debt. And she said, I don't have any credit card debt either. She said, but all my friends do. And they all have fancy cars and they all have, nice apartments, and they all have a ton of credit card debt. But then I said, and she asked what I do, and I said, I have a gold and silver channel named Ron's Basement, blah, blah, blah. I told her about gold, She said, this is interesting. She said, I have an uncle, and he's always been regarded in the family as being very, very smart, like super smart. She said, you know what? Now that I think about it, he has always held and owned physical gold and silver. And I said, yeah, I know, I understand. I said, I might know your uncle, right? Like I run this channel. It's not Ron's Basement, by the way. It's called YouTube. It's Your Basement. But nonetheless, we get people all together. And I told her, I said, one thing I can tell you about the people that engage in my channel. One thing first, the most important, how nice you guys are, right? Sure, we get some wild cards that come around and I think just are mean, maybe mean-spirited, but 99% of the people and the people that come regularly to join me in the basement are really nice. I said, the other thing they are is super smart, absolutely very smart people. Look, I don't think it's hard to measure smartness, right? But I can tell you from interacting with you guys, you're very smart, right? Don't forget, we are just a sliver of a sliver. I heard somebody else talking about this just the other day. We're 0.5% of the financial assets of the world are invested in silver and gold mining stocks, 0.5%. The historical average on that is 1.5%. It's gotten as high as 5% at certain times, right? But the average, we would have to go up. We would have to have a 3 times increase in the amount of money in our sector just to get back to the historic average. Do you know? Can you believe? Okay, let me ask this question. This is a great question for you to answer. If we got back to the historical average where 1.5% of the world's wealth, the world's financial assets were invested in silver and gold, what would the silver price be? Remember, that would be 3 times as much money in silver and gold than right now. Tell me, and I'll read your name live on the internet from the basement to you, broadcast all over the world, because we have people watching from all over the world. Hello, Blaine. Everyone that agrees with me are very high intelligence. Yeah, that's the definition of a genius. Anyone who agrees with you, Blaine, or me for that matter. Coin Shop Chris put in a really conservative estimate of $167. Was she hot? Not really, to be honest with you. Gregory Green, but I'm married to Susie, so my judgment of hot, right? Like when I have Susie, nothing else looks that great to me. I have the prettiest girl in the world. 40-ounce Freedom, $100 an ounce, Captain Denim. To be crossed or to be crossed is $90. That's a hard one for me to read. Paul M. says $225 silver. Silver and platinum are undervalued. Yes, silver 125. Good answer. That's a true answer, though. I look at Susie all the time. Hopefully you guys are in the same, and I'm like, wow, she's so pretty. I'll tell you what's nicer about Susie is I don't know if she's still on here, but Susie is one of the most down-to-earth, honest, nice people that you're ever going to see. She really is. And she keeps to herself a lot. Poor thing has to deal with me a lot, okay? But you aren't going to find a nicer, whether it's an animal or a human, she treats everybody and everything the same. Inside our house, I always find this fascinating about Susie. She treats everybody on the street the same way she treats the people in her house, which is very good. My daughters love their mother more than anything in the world. She's super awesome, and she helps out a lot with this channel. Susie does a lot of work behind the scenes, and yes, Susie's very hot, but she's mine. Well, I don't own her or anything like that. She's free to do whatever she wants, but yeah, she's mine. She's really a substantial, awesome person. We're almost to 100 thumbs up. Can we get there? 97. I'm going to ring that bell 10 times. One ring for each 10 thumbs up. That is called ringflation. I forget who invented ringflation. One of you did. Super Susie. Ron's fishing for more coffee. That's a funny one, Paul Beeler. 100 thumbs up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. You're awesome. You are the most important part of Ron's Basement, and I'm going to see you soon. Thank you.